Ra. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. Before we communicate, may we request the adjustment, without the touching of this instrument's physical body complex, of the item which presses upon the instrument's head. This is causing some interference with our contact. Questioner. Is that the pillow or something else? Do you speak of the pillow, under the neck? Ra. I am Ra. There is a line of interference crossing the crown of the head. Questioner. Is it this? A 2-inch fold in the sheet is located 3 inches from the crown of the instrument's head and is laid flat on the bed. Is that it? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. Please increase the distance from the crown of the head. Questioner. Ruffles in the sheet are smoothed all along the length of the sheet next to the instrument's head. Is this satisfactory? Ra. I am Ra. Yes. Questioner. I am sorry that we failed to notice that. Ra. We communicate now. Questioner. I'll just try to pick up the last question left over from the last session, if you can answer it. I don't know if it is of any importance, but it just occurred to me that the parts removed in cattle mutilations are the same every time, and I just wondered if this was related to the energy centers, and why they were important if that was so. Ra. I am Ra. This is basically correct if you may understand that there is a link between energy centers and various thought forms. Thus the fears of the mass consciousness create the climate for the concentration upon the removal of bodily parts which symbolize areas of concern or fear in the mass consciousness. Questioner. Are you saying, then, that these parts that are removed are related to the mass consciousness of the third density human form on the planet, and this fear is being used in some way by the second density entities, or correction, the thought form entities that do the mutilations? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct as latterly stated. The thought form entities feed upon fear, thus they are able to do precise damage according to systems of symbology. The other second density types of which you speak need the, what you call, blood. Questioner. These other second density types need the blood to remain in the physical. Do they come in and out of our physical density, from one of the astral planes? Ra. I am Ra. These entities are, shall we say, creatures of the Orion group. They do not exist in astral planes as do the thought forms, but wait within the Earth's surface. We, as always, remind you that it is our impression that this type of information is unimportant. Questioner. I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I sometimes am at a loss before investigation into an area to know whether it is going to lead to a better understanding. This just seemed to be related somehow to the energy centers we were speaking of. I am going to make a statement, and see if this have you comment on it for its correctness. The statement is: when the Creator's light is split or divided in two colors and energy centers for experience, then in order to reunite with the Creator the energy centers must be balanced exactly the same as the split light was, as it originated from the Creator. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. To give this query a simple answer would be nearly impossible. We shall simplify by concentrating upon what we consider to be the central idea towards which you are striving. We have, many times now, spoken about the relative importance of balancing, as opposed to the relative unimportance of maximal activation of each energy center. The reason is, as you have correctly surmised, Thusly the entity is concerned, if it be upon the path of positive harvestability, with the regularizing of the various energies of experience. Thus the most fragile entity may be more balanced than one with extreme energy and activity in service to others due to the fastidiousness with which the will is focused upon the use of experience and knowing the self. The densities beyond your own give the minimally balanced individual much time, space and space-time, with which to continue to refine these inner balances. Questioner. In the next density, in the fourth density, is the catalyst of physical pain used as a mechanism for experiential balancing? Ra. I am Ra. The use of physical pain is minimal, having only to do with the end of the fourth density incarnation. This physical pain would not be considered severe enough to treat, shall we say, in third density. The catalysts of mental and spiritual pain are used in fourth density. Questioner. Why is physical pain a part of the end of fourth density? Ra. I am Ra. You would call this variety of pain weariness. Questioner. What is can you state the average lifespan in the fourth density of space-time incarnation? Ra. I am Ra. The space-time incarnation typical of harmonious fourth density is approximately 90,000 of your years, as you measure time. Questioner. Then, is there time-space? Are there multiple incarnations in fourth density with time-space experiences between incarnations? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner. How long is a cycle of experience in fourth density in our years? Ra. The cycle of experience is approximately 30 million of your years if the entities are not capable of being harvested sooner. There is in this density a harvest which is completely the function of the readiness of the social memory complex. It is not structured as is your own, for it deals with a more transparent distortion of the one infinite creator. Questioner. Then the big difference in harvestability between third and fourth density is that at the end of the third density the individual is harvested as a function of individual violet ray, but in fourth density is it the equivalent of violet ray then for the entire social memory complex that must be of a harvestable nature to go to fifth density. Ra. I am Ra. This is correct, although in fifth density entities may choose to learn as a social memory complex or as mind-body-spirit complexes, and may graduate to sixth density under these conditions, for the wisdom density is an extremely free density, whereas the lessons of compassion leading to wisdom necessarily have to do with other selves. Questioner. Then is sixth density harvest strictly of social memory complex, because again we have wisdom compassion blended back using wisdom. Ra. I am Ra. This is quite correct. Questioner. We know that the physical vehicle in fourth density that is used during space-time, I am assuming, is quite similar to the one that we now use in third density. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. The chemical elements used are not the same. However, the appearance is similar. Questioner. Is it necessary to eat food in fourth density? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner. The mechanism of, shall we say, social catalyst due to a necessity for feeding the body then is active in fourth density. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. This is incorrect. The fourth density being desires to serve and the preparation of foodstuffs is extremely simple due to increased communion between entity and living foodstuff. Therefore, this is not a significant catalyst, but rather a simple precondition of the space-time experience. The catalyst involved is the necessity for the ingestion of foodstuffs. This is not considered to be of importance by fourth density entities, and it, therefore, aids in the deep learning of patients. Questioner. Could you expand a little bit on how that aids in the deep learning of patients? Ra. I am Ra. To stop the functioning of service to others long enough to ingest foodstuffs is to invoke patience. Questioner. I'm guessing that it is not necessary to ingest food in fifth density. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. This is incorrect. However, the vehicle needs food which may be prepared by thought. Questioner. What type of food would this be? Ra. I am Ra. You would call this type of food nectar, or ambrosia, or a light broth of gold and white hue. Questioner. What is the purpose of ingesting food in fifth density? Ra. I am Ra. This is a somewhat central point. The purpose of space-time is the increase in catalytic action appropriate to the density. One of the preconditions for space-time existence is some form of body complex. Such a body complex must be fueled in some way. Questioner. Then, there is in third density the fueling of our bodily complex is not only simply fuels of the bodily complex, but gives us opportunities to learn service. In fourth density it not only fuels the complex, but gives us opportunities to learn patience. In fifth density it fuels the complex, but does it teach? Ra. I am Ra. In fifth density it is comfort for those of like mind gather together to share in this broth, thus becoming one in light and wisdom, while joining hearts and hands in physical activity. Thus in this density it becomes a solace rather than a catalyst for learning. Questioner. I am simply trying to trace the, you might say, the evolution of this catalyst, that then, as you say, changes in fifth density. I might as well complete this and ask if there is any ingestion of food in sixth density. Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. However, the nature of this food is that of light, and is impossible to describe to you in any meaningful way as regards the thrust of your query. Questioner. In fourth density on this planet, after we're totally transitioned, and the harvest is complete, fourth density beings will be incarnate on the surface of this planet, as we know it now, this particular surface. Is that correct? Ra. I am Ra. The probability possibility vortices indicate this to be most likely.